A prime understanding of this dynamic fusion of technology and everyday life can be observed in an industry that grows consistently. Despite inflation, despite economic depression, despite volatile socio-political circumstances. This industry is sport. Within the sporting arena, decisions of victory and defeat are brought down to incredibly small and specific metrics. The difference between gold and silver medal is measured in seconds and milliseconds, centimeters and millicentimeters. As a rowing coach, I employ several key pillars to ensure my athletes can gain the edge over the rest of the field. My own race in 2012 was down to a narrow 0.25 seconds. A quarter of a second had separated myself, my crew, and the entirety of South Africa from its first Olympic gold in rowing. In retrospect, a quote by Napoleon stands out to me. The reason I beat the Austrians is they did not know the value of 5 minutes. The importance of the period of 5 minutes on a battlefield to Napoleon is the same importance of microseconds to athletes. Effective strategy, and through gaining a superior advantage over the Austrians, Napoleon ensured a total victory over them. The pillar of maximizing how effective one uses their time is a key component to any athlete's success. The extreme lengths an athlete and their support staff would go to ensure triumph over competitors is unbelievable. Understanding the fierce competition and stakes involved in South African schoolboy rugby leads to the understanding of the rampant illegal use of sports enhancing drugs at high school level. Absolute commitment to ensure total and utter victory. To gain the edge, athletes would do anything. This is where technology and sport begin to fuse. With such fine margins between winning and losing, the accuracy and reliability and empirical nature of technology is not to be ignored. Successful coaches use technology as effectively as possible to maximize performance of their athletes. The correlation between an athlete's performance and the rapid advancement of technology is easily understood. Better technology have definitely led to improvement of their performance across all sporting codes. Look at the VAR technology in football. With these solutions, Maradona would have never gotten away with the infamous hand of God. And that World Cup quarterfinal could have ended in a draw or a win for England. It might have come home in 1986 already. Not to discredit the phenomenal skill and talent of the late legend Maradona, but technology has brought the edge closer for everyone. Furthermore, technology and data collection remains absolutely imperative to deliver podium finishes. Coaches that use VO2 max testing, which involves the collection of data measuring the oxygen capacity of an athlete, can properly develop programs to maximize their oxygen capacity and thus maximize their performance. A technology-savvy coach would use wearable performance technology, such as Caterpillar's devices, to monitor and optimize the performance of their athletes. Those dependent on technology would use GPSs to track and analyze movement and conduct of their athletes on the field. Force graphs and the data given from simple ergometers give a rowing coach the ability to understand their athlete's stroke and make the appropriate corrections in their specific area of their stroke. Despite these technologies being more often not expensive, they provide an undeniable advantage to the athletes and teams that possesses them. It is undeniable that appropriate and effective use of technology on a sports field can lead to all-important victory. The second pillar is based around the effective and intelligent use of tools available to a coach or athlete. The overall importance on the potential of technology boils down to the effective usage of it. Without the technical know-how to, understand and utilize these tools, coach an athlete to use blunt knife to fight a bear. The interpretation of data is a vital skill to ensure victory. I'd like to elaborate on a role technology has played in my journey to winning an Olympic gold medal. My rowing career began 24 years ago at Mondi High School in the south of Johannesburg. At school, I was encouraged by my late headmaster, Mr. Tom Price, to start rowing. I was one of 4 black students that started rowing that season. By the end of the season, I was the only one left. Tom saw something in me no one else did. His passion, commitment, and continuous support ensured a solid foundation, and my success was birthed from there. He picked me up in the mornings and made sure I trained before school. As a black South African, I was undeniably disadvantaged compared to fellow white South Africans in general. And sport in specific, my economic background in relations to my white peers and competitors in rowing led to clear disadvantage. During my high school career, I didn't have the same access to advanced equipment, advanced coaching, and technologies such as stroke coaches, which I used to provide data such as the boat speed, distance per stroke, rate of strokes per minute, etc. Given the need to transform and develop sport in post-apartheid South Africa and dedication and commitment to the sport, I joined with national rowing team. I rowed through the juniors, under 23s, university, and seniors phase of South African national rowing. In 2010, I met Paul Jackson, who had previously coached men's lightweight crews to 1996 and 2000 Olympics. Paul Jackson was a phenomenal coach. What stood out about Jackson in relation to other coaches that coached me was the different philosophy and approach. His under-reliance on data and technology was unique. Jackson kept it simple. He allowed us to work hard and focused on developing our strength and technique. He didn't focus on the data or numbers from the stroke coach. Going into 2012 Olympics, we were not the favorite crew to win the gold. Our approach was totally different to everyone else. The access to high-quality boats, equipment, gadgets, and technology that everyone else enjoyed was certainly not shared by us. Our advantage over other crews was the expert conditioning and sheer character and determination we had. It came down to race of grit and resilience. What was so unique about the lightweight rowing division was that everyone was within similar size ranges, pulling similar X scores, and obviously same weight. It comes down to the conditioning and character of winners. The grit and mentality we showed to come up from being written off by commentators to snatch the victory derives from the condition we were in. We didn't rely on the data and numbers to win that final. We relied on determination and character. I'll say this not telling coaches to throw away their technology, but saying that it remains extremely important to understand that no technology can replace the human spirit of courage and resolve. This is to say that determination and character count tremendously in gaining the edge. The third pillar is grounded in humanity. As much as program and technology can greatly improve the effectiveness of an athlete on a sporting field, an athlete's grit, determination, and quality of character separates them from the rest of competition. My last pillar is based on a perspective I had gained during my early days of my coaching career. It's in reference to an anecdote often told in coaching seminars. A rower comes to know their equipment as they would the back of their hand. A good rower can tell and feel the difference in a change in the settings. They would be able to feel the change in the weight of the oar if it is shortened by even 2 millimeters, feeling the change in the pitch even by a single degree, awareness of the slightest change of their boat. Often these changes are met with disagreements and complaints that they feel unnatural or out of the ordinary in their stroke. I recall an athlete I once coached who had developed a terrible, bad habit of being uncoordinated in their movements, drastically affecting the speed of the boat. I went on to drill and coach him. The most impressive thing about this athlete was their resistance to corrections I was trying to enforce. Utter resilience to my coaching. After about an hour of trying to drill the correct and appropriate motion, I stopped the session. I asked if they understood what I was trying to convey. After repeating to me what I had been coaching, they finally looked up to me, sipping on water, saying, "It feels uncomfortable when I try to make the change you want me to make." That is my fourth pillar. Being uncomfortable, I went on to explain that one must be feeling uncomfortable to know that one is making a change. If you are not challenging the comfort, not engaging with what is unfamiliar and uncomfortable, then you are not making a change. I insisted to my athletes that pushing the boundaries of comfort is essential to make a change and to complement the speed of the boat. What is important to note under this pillar is that comfort and familiarity can be regarded as any issue of life. Familiarity and technology, for example, greatly hampered me from upgrading my cell phone for many years. Stepping out of comfort zone, although clinch is an absolutely crucial part of my philosophy. Using those four pillars, I hope all athletes may find success. To gain the edge in the modern world is not an easy task. These pillars are not a rule book to find absolute victory, rather a guideline in the shaping of one's own recipe for success. While these pillars are helpful, any athlete understands that hard work carries them over the line.